Beeper. I'm sorry, Beeper. You okay, buddy? Hey, everybody. I started this morning's close-up a little earlier than I'd planned because this is so cute. They're playing the same game that the last class liked, where I put a couple ping pong balls in the basket and they play with it from underneath mostly. It's a fun game. It is Thursday. It is April 2nd, and that makes these kids 8 weeks old today. Happy 8-week-old birthday, kids. You guys know this is Belle, and these are her kittens. This is Beep, Klaxon, and Foghorn. I just took their weights. They're all on track, although Beep here, you could stand to eat a little more. She's definitely the small one in the group. She's also probably the most active, so we'll let that go. Nothing to worry about there. I'm surprised to see Foggy finally got involved in this game. I haven't had my usual dose of coffee, and I don't think there's any real news to share with you guys today. Um, let's see. The only news would be you guys know that Tink and Dabble are still planning on getting adopted on Saturday, and Brooke. Oh, I wanted to clarify a little bit about Brooke now. Again, I'm decaffeinated, and I didn't plan too well for this, but I'd like to say, just clarify a few of the things that I was saying about Brooke before, which is that it would be nice if we could find a local adopter for her, and I know that Ed definitely endorses that. But I think there was a little bit of confusion about, what's going on. Ed, first off, Ed hasn't withdrawn his application, um, but mostly I think just because he's such a good guy that he's not likely to do that. Secondly, from the very first day when he applied, I want to be really clear. From the very first day, Ed was really concerned about making Brooke take a 13-hour drive when we know she does not like the car. That was one of his big concerns. Was how would she do on a 13-hour drive? Would it be okay? And he said right from the start, he said, look, I'm not going to be able to come get her until the middle of April, and if you find somebody local that can take her that won't have to put her through the 13-hour drive before then, please do that because I just want what's best for her. And he said, I definitely think it's best for her if she doesn't have to take that trip. And then that was, before the whole world changed. And now he probably, I shouldn't say probably, he certainly can't come out in the middle of April. We don't know when he'll be able to come get her. And, on top of that, he still is, concerned about that trip for her. So my whole point being, Ed is just the sweetest, nicest guy. Really, he'd be a great home for Brooke. But I think he and I both agree it would be really nice if we could find somebody local and get her into her home sooner rather than later, and also not have to put her through that trip when the trip's finally available. So that's all I'm saying. And anybody that had thought that Brooke that Ed, you know, maybe I haven't actually heard anybody suggest this, but if anybody thought that Ed didn't have her uh, best life in mind, and suggesting that we find a local adopter if possible, that's just it's incorrect. He really is he's caring for her in that sense, and I think he's absolutely right to do it. So my point being, yeah, I really, again, I want to encourage anybody to apply to adopt Brooke if you are relatively local to us, relatively local being, you know, this sort of New Englandy, Connecticut area. And I know I just saw a few people suggest now, and I know people have been suggesting we hear this for every single mom cat, every single time. Just why don't you just take her yourself and keep her on as faculty? Um, and I've got a couple answers for that. The real answer is we don't have room in the faculty. In fact, right now, with four mom cats in the house until the end of the week, I'm frankly a little overwhelmed. It's really the limit of what I can keep up with, and it's rare, for us to have four mom cats. So I'm not complaining and doing it for a few days. Not going to hurt anybody, but um, it's just an example of how the more faculty we put on, the less bandwidth I have to help mom cats in need. Like our cute little like our cute little Gabby. So that's going to be tricky for me. Gabble. Um, so we really don't have any room for any more faculty right now. And then the more humorous answer I like to give for that, of course, is if I had room for more faculty, then we would have Teacup here, and we don't. So, so if you want me to keep Brooke, we got to bring back Teacup and Tempest, and I don't know, maybe Whimsy and every other mom cat that I've loved, and we're not going to do that. So that's my excuse. Anyway, I just wanted to clarify that in case there was any misunderstanding. I really um, I do want to encourage people that are local to adopt Brooke. And, a reminder, Brooke gets along fine with almost all the faculty almost all the time. So if you have cats and you are reasonably patient about introducing them, you could adopt Brooke and she'd give her a good life. For sure you could. On the other hand, if you don't have any cats and you want Brooke to be your only cat, I think that she would find that to be her best life. So it's something to think about. And if you don't know who Brooke is and why I'm talking about her while we're watching these cute kittens, just hang on. We'll see her in a minute. Just getting ahead of myself. I see, a couple people have been like, well, could we get her to Ed by this means or by that means or this other way? Keep this in mind. I did start by saying this, but sometimes people come in a little bit late. Ed was concerned about Brooke's transport to him from the very beginning, before transportation in general started to become a bit of an issue. He's just concerned about the fact that she doesn't like to travel. She really doesn't like to travel. That's why we thought that she was diabetic. Was because she gets so stressed out about travel that her blood sugar spikes like higher than most cats even. So it's just no travel solution is the ultimate solution to what Ed originally was concerned about. Now, there's a question about should he be that concerned? It's just one trip, and she gets over it. She's in a great home with an awesome guy for the rest of her life. There's that argument for sure, but that's not my point. My point is that if it's avoidable by finding a local adopter, then that's what Ed's always wanted. He's always wanted to be able to avoid that for her if it's possible. And that's all. That's all I'm saying. Look, I've talked way too much about Ed in this close up. That was not my intent, and I'm sure it's somewhat embarrassing for him. So I'm sorry about that, Ed. I just want everybody to know the story and that you are cool. I really do think so. And also to get some attention from Brooke. That's the focus here. So I just didn't want you to think that either Ed had dropped out or that we had rejected him in some way or that, he just wasn't in the picture anymore, because none of that's true. That's all. He wants what's best for her, and he said from day one that he thinks what's best for her is if she doesn't have to make that trip. These kids are being so fun, but I've got other stuff to show you guys. I guess we can spend a few more minutes here, and I can try to hurry through everybody else after a while. What is Beep even doing? Beep, what are you playing with? Some weird jumping. What have you got there? Oh, a little poofy ball, a little tiny poofy ball. So small. Bruna Salgado. The tissue that we use in the tissue pit is just the tissue that you get at like a party or gift store, or any kind of shop that sells gift wrapping. It's the same stuff that you would put into like a gift bag. They sell it in big packs, and you just crinkle it up a bit and toss it in an open cardboard box if that's what you got. It works out really well. The kittens love it. I think they like it better than, originally we came to that whole idea of the tissue pit because someone sent us a ball pit and they sent us some balls for it. And the ball pit, not the best thing. Some kittens do like the balls, they're fun, but they're not as fun as tissue, and they're also just not as convenient as the tissue. First off, those big plastic balls, they take up a lot of space to store. You can't just throw them away. They also are the big plastic balls. You need way more of them to make a ball pit look full than you would ever imagine. Like 100 balls is nothing. Like you just got to buy tons and tons of them. It's ridiculous. Um, then of course they're not as sanitary. I mean, it's just everybody says that about the ball pit. Like at Chuck E. Cheese is probably one of the worst things you can do sanitation wise. But it's even true for our kittens. We try to keep everything relatively sterilized in between classes, and sterilizing a ball pit's worth of balls would really be a task that I am not up for. So in a lot of ways, the balls are kind of lacking, but then obviously on top of all that, the tissue is cheap, it's disposable, and I honestly think they like it a lot more. It's fun, it makes noise, it's soft, um, and they get to hide under it and play in it just the same as they would if it were a pit full of balls. So that's how we came on the tissue pit idea in the first place, and I think it's a real winner. And we like to do it still in a big ball pit. In fact, I was telling everybody I bought a new tissue pit. It's really classy looking. It's really nice. It's up in my office closet right now, waiting for me to be able to do the tissue pit. And it is a beautiful, beautiful tissue pit. It'll make great film footage, but you don't need that at your house, and we often don't even do it here. We just cut the top off a cardboard box, throw some tissues in, you're all set. Let's see if I can get at least Beep's attention here. Beep, what is that? Oh, I threw it in the basket, and it's not past the basket. Come here. Pay attention, pay attention. There we go. Yeah, wrapping paper, cardboard packing paper, all that kind of stuff. And yes, Bruna, the adult cats do like it. They've all taken turns in the tissue pit playing. It's really fun. No, the lemon tree didn't make the trip to Connecticut, unfortunately. It was looking pretty sparse by the time we moved, and I just didn't think that it just couldn't make it. We try not to keep too many real plants around anymore because they're just a little more trouble than we can manage all the time. Um, in fact, I think the only real plant that we have in the house now is a jade plant that lives in DJ's bathroom because the cats like to chew on it and they're going to kill it. And I know if you read online, they say jade's not great for cats to eat, but it really just makes them sick and throw up. And everything does. Like they eat cat grass, like wheatgrass for cats, and that makes them throw up too. That's why they eat it. So I'm not too worried about the cat's health, but that plant's not long for this world unless we keep it away from the cats. Got a claw stuck in my sock. That's my sock. It's fine. I already discovered a hole in the sock this morning, so it's going in the trash when I take it off. Yeah, you don't even need a tissue paper. You're right. One sheet kept her busy for weeks, though. But you're right that we can just throw one sheet of tissue paper out on the floor, and sometimes that can be a lot of entertainment for the kitties. They'll grab it and carry it around and all kinds of stuff. Oh, somebody's getting into it with the Grinch. Oh, okay. Distracted by the string. She was hitting the Grinch. There we go. You do it? No? Okay. You're right. You should stay away from him. He's a mean one. Well, as cute as this is, we should take a few minutes for me to walk around, show you everybody else, and just see if anything comes to mind that's newsworthy about them. Although, again, I really don't think there is. Not today. Nothing special happened in the last 24 hours. I mean, I say that, but yeah, I spent the last day with a little extra focus on spending time with each of the kittens. So I came and I snuggled with everybody in every room. It does fill up a day real fast, trying to care for four separate groups of kittens plus our faculty. Because, we've got the Belle and her kittens in here. We got Brooke in her own room. We've got Gabby in her own room. And then we've got Tank and Dabble still, who they do get to spend most of their time out, but, they are sort of their own unit that also needs special care. And I feel like, we're not doing the kittens the right service if we don't spend a certain amount of time really interacting with them every day. That's important. Plus, it's fun. I did make the box for Gabby. Yeah, I weighed Gabby this morning too. I guess we'll talk about that. That's kind of news. It's nothing earth-shattering, but okay, Belle. I'm going to go leave you with your kids. If you guys want to keep watching the kittens in here, I think this camera pointed right at here is on the current Kitten Academy live stream. So you can look for that. I do think YouTube search is still broken. It's been broken long enough that I probably need to write to them about it. Um, but you can still find the Kitten Academy live stream. It just might take a little extra step or two. What I do on my TV, which is it's an Android TV, you search for Kitten Academy or Kitten Academy live stream, and then what comes up is the channel. And when that comes up, you click on it, and the very next thing that comes up is the live stream. You click on that, and you're all set. Another thing that people like to do, though, is they make a playlist on, say, their phone because it's easier to use. You search for it on the phone, you find the video, you add it to your playlist, and then you can find that playlist on your Chromecast or Roku or whatever it is and get to it that way. That's another way to do it. So there's ways to find it. It's there. Everything's good. This is Brooke, by the way. She's out right now. She comes out every morning. It's the first thing I put anybody else that's out except for the faculty, I put them away. I let Brooke out, and then I come and I do breakfast and litter boxes and all those chores that I do first in the morning. Well, Brooke is out walking around, but usually by the time I get her breakfast ready, she wants to follow me up into her room to have her breakfast, which is also what she did this morning, just like normal. But then I was spending time brushing Gabby, And I took extra time up there, and by the time I got back into her room to empty her litter box, she was like, "Hey, I'd like to go back out." I thought, you know what? Why not? Tink and Dabble are put up in their room right now. There's no reason that Brooke can't have a little bit of extra outside time this morning. And it seems like she is using it to stare down Loganberry, because that's a valuable use of time. Loganberry. Brooke, what is with this? Why are you two just sitting here staring at each other? You could find all kinds of way more fun and entertaining things to do. That's fine. No, now she's got someone else to stare down because Eddie came over. Eddie, you guys are like twins. I know. Nobody could tell you apart at a glance. You don't have any ear tufts. You've got a white muzzle instead of like a cinnamon colored muzzle. And you got those green eyes. But other than that, Brookie, what color are your eyes, Brookie? They're like yellow, right? Yeah, like a beautiful. Oh, Logan. Logan is trying to intimidate her. He does this to some of the mom cats lately. But he's got such a funny little, like, meow that's not intimidating at all. But he is, he's trying to intimidate her. Buddy, do you think that meow is going to intimidate anybody? So now if they get in a scuffle, he's really the one that's starting it. This is him starting a fight. This is honestly, this is what he's like trying to start a scuffle. Buddy. Yes, well, you're super intimidating, I can tell. Anyway, I don't want to just leave them here. I got to make one of them walk away from this situation. I'll give you an excuse to walk away with your pride intact. It's my fault. It's my fault you had to leave. You would have beaten her up. I know. I know you would have taken her down if it wasn't for me coming around and making you leave. Hold me back, bro. Hold me back. That's right. Okay. All right. Let's keep going, bud. There's plenty of other places for you to cause trouble. It doesn't have to be with her. All right, Brookie. Got him off your back for now. All right, let's see who else we can see for now. Oh, look, everybody else is here too. Here's Custard. Hey, bud. Up here in your tree, having a nap. And here's Maggie. A little hard to get you with all that sun in your eyes. Nice though, isn't it? Sure is. Eddie's followed me over here. Hi, bud. I know, you want brushies too, just like Gabby got. We'll get you some brushies. I'm almost thinking about getting another one of those brushes for Gabby for Eddie, because we've got a slicker brush for Eddie, but that push button is really growing on me. The one that we've got for him is the kind that's got a little screen that you flip up and it pulls the hair off, which is not bad. That push button is very convenient after all. Yeah. Well, you tell us more about it, Acro. What do you think, buddy? The big purr you got all the time. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point, Robo Kitten. If you sound like a kitten, that's probably not going to endear you to Brookie in particular. Here's Ari. What's up, Ari? Eddie's still following us around. I know, pal. I'll come get you some brushies. I can't just rub you with my hand. You shed too much. You shed more than Gabby. Even though you're a short hair. Got all the hair shedding to do. That's a good boy, Acro. You're a good boy. All right. Well, let's head upstairs and see them. I see you. Oh, and there's Foggy. Playing with Jubal. All right. So first off, I'll just peek in here real quick because this is Tink and Dabble's room, and I can't let them out right now though because Brooke's out. You know how that works. But here they are, mother and child. Oh, I know, and you see me in here, you guys think I'm gonna let you out. So you get up, you're gonna take a big stretch, show me you're ready to leave. I know. Well, you'll get to go out soon. And they were out all night again last night, so there were no incidents this time. It was all good. I know. And more like usual, Tink spent all night sleeping on the cat bed on the bedroom floor, and Dabble spent all night snuggled up under the blankets in bed because that's her deal. Very sweet. They make a great pair together. Okay, Debbie, I can't let you out though because the little kitten haters out there. We'll let you out soon. For now, have second breakfast with your mom. Second breakfast would be good for you. Okay, okay. All right, I gotta go. You gotta stay. No, you gotta stay. Sorry, kiddo. Hi, Gabby. You're waiting right at the door for us. And talking. Let me come in. What do you want to say to me? Really? Say some more. I haven't heard you talk very much, but I heard your little meow just now. Is that all you want to say? I weighed her the day that she came in, and I weighed her again this morning, and she's gained almost a pound. That's a lot of weight to gain. She is really growing those kittens in there. She was already huge when she showed up, of course. So, for those of you who don't know, this is our newest mom cat at the Academy. This is Gabby. And Gabby, let's see, what can I tell you about Gabby? Gabby is obviously a long-haired kitty. She weighs, what was it? It was 11 and a half pounds now, something like that in that neighborhood. She has about 5 kittens in her, waiting to be delivered. Those 5 kittens are a week or 2 probably from delivery. It's hard to say for sure. We don't know. Could be today, could be 2 weeks. Who knows? Um, but I can tell you that so far I still don't think she's lactating, and she hasn't shown a whole lot of interest in nesting behavior, like going into her box. So I don't think it's imminent. It's not, there's no proof one way or the other. It still could be tonight, but I wouldn't bet on it. You want more bettings? I know. I can see that. You're not shy about asking for it either. Oh, I did have some news about her though, because last night I came in here to spend my time with her, and she climbed up and hung out on the beanbag chair with me for a while. She was even in my lap for, a few seconds, but mostly she wanted to sit on the arm of the chair next to me, like real close, so she could snuggle with me but not be on me. But that's huge progress already because the last few times I've been in here, she just wanted to sit like by my feet or on the floor next to the beanbag chair. But yesterday she wanted to snuggle up real close. So that's sweet. I think she's coming around real quick. Very windy day outside today. I don't know if you guys could hear that wind just now. I sure did. Yeah, let's show how big your belly is. If I compress your floof, it's hard to get an angle on that. Very large, living large, kiddo. I just used the slicker brush on her for a while this morning. Not getting as much fur off of her now because I think she probably had a bunch of fur that was built up when she came in. But now that we've done it to her a few times, there's not as much to take care of. And I do expect that she'll take care of herself a lot better once she has some mobility. But with as big and full of kittens as she can't reach most of herself to clean right now. So I got to help out here and there. She had a big old Klingon this morning I had to help her out with. I might end up just trimming some of her pantaloons, I guess. Her back, her fur in the back there. I might end up just taking some scissors and trimming it short because for at least the next week or so, it's probably going to get messy every day if I don't. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, anybody coming in late? Gabby is our new mom cat, and yes, she does have a birthing box ready to go. And I made sure she knew how to get in and out of it. I put her in there. She came out, so I know she knows how to go in and out, but she's just not interested in it yet. It's a very large box. It's plenty big enough for her and her 5 or 6 kittens. Linda, you just you never know, but we've always had mom cats that come to us through shelters and unknown pasts and strays and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we've got a pretty good record of healthy kittens. So I do expect the best for her little kittens, especially with this prenatal care that we're giving her. I know that there's every reason to think that they're going to be super healthy little kittens, just like the last group. That is a big old belly. I would compare it to a football, but I think it is bigger, much bigger. Maybe more like a watermelon, except floofier. Boy, if your watermelon is floofy like this, do not eat that watermelon. Like the ones that have the hair growing on them, they are not good. She's big. Let's think of all the round things that we can compare you to. Well, Rosie, I don't know too much about official cat breeds or whether she could be an official cat breed or whether she could have been pedigreed. But I can tell you she can't be now because, to have a pedigree, you need to have a proven chain of heredity, which would have been, if she had, would have been completely lost, of course, somewhere between when she had it and when she got to us. Um, but but she is beautiful. Like, we've had a number of mom cats where you're like, wow, if I didn't know better, I would think that she was a show cat. And Gabby definitely fits in there. I think her fur it's really soft. But I was saying this morning, it hasn't got quite the shine that I expect or I should say that I expect a cat to have on her fur, and it's probably just because of all the pregnancy going on. I bet after she delivers her kittens, you give her a month, she'll shine up, she'll floof out, and just be twice as spectacular as she is now. That's my guess. Oh my gosh, 35 minutes. What am I doing? Hey, everybody, we got to wrap this up. We really got to wrap this up. So, let me say thank you again so much for joining me this morning. It really means a lot to me to get to chat with you guys every morning now. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I hope you are too. Also, if you want to keep watching Gabby here, this camera sitting on the floor is definitely operational. You can continue to watch her and the other kittens that we started the stream with on the regular Kitten Academy live stream. If you have trouble finding it, just look for the Kitten Academy channel. It'll be the first thing that comes up if you can find that. Or go to our website. That will get you there as well. And we will do another close-up like this tomorrow morning. That's it. Thanks, everybody. She's hugging my hand. She's got, do you see this? She's got her little paw around my wrist, so I can't let go. Too sweet. Okay. Now, how am I going to use my other hand to stop the stream? How do I do this? You think I can stop it with my nose? Let's try this. Oh, I got it. I got it.